You could have made more money in these savings accounts than investing in Tesla over the last year. Yeah, let's go ahead and break it down because today I have the top 5 bank accounts for October of 2023. Now, with these savings accounts, just like really most savings accounts, this is money that you should have parked on the side, whether it's for a rainy day, a vacation, a year from now, something that is medium to long term, okay? This is not my checking account. This is not the money I'm using for my bills. This is a savings account. That is the context that I want you to look at. I'm also going to give you a spoiler warning here. Everything except for one account is paying 5% or above. Okay, all except for one. And the first one we're going to cover is SoFi and Citizens. Now, SoFi is a company you're already familiar with. They do have a few stipulations. I think they even give you a bonus if you add your direct deposit. If you don't like SoFi, you can go for Citizens because both are paying right now 4.5%. Also recognize that these rates could change. So I'm doing it at the day you're watching this. This is the day I looked it up. These are the rates as of today, okay? So right now they're paying 4.5. That's obviously very, very good in a time like this. I don't really, since I have been dealing with money, I don't think I've ever seen rates this high, right? Except for the last video that we did on this last month. But, you know, in my lifetime of really dealing with rates, like 3% was huge. This is 4.5, and the rest of these are 5 and above. Which brings us to the next one at Basque Bank. They are paying 5.10%, or 5.1% to be exact. Here, $0 minimum. $0 minimum for SoFi and Citizens as well, which is great. You don't have to have a whole bunch of money to participate in getting 5% for doing nearly nothing. Okay, nearly nothing. You're not doing a whole bunch and you're getting 5%, which remember, all of these are FDIC insured. So if a bank collapses again, as long as you got 250 and below, you are going to get your money back. Also, I've done a video on how you can increase your FDIC insurance as well. So go ahead and check that out after this video because we're moving up the ladder now. Okay, the next bank here is paying 5.15%, and that is my favorite name on the list, Bread Savings. Bread Savings has $0 minimum as well. However, there are a few fees, so you do want to make sure that you are reading the fine print. Now, I would not give you a recommendation or create a list that had some fees that I was not okay with. Okay, so part of the fees here is that you need to have the account for 180 days. If you withdraw money before then or withdraw a certain amount of money before then, you could get hit with a fee, which is why in the beginning of the video, I said it's money that's not your checking account. It's money you should stay away from. Just leave it there and have it build up 5% for as long as you can. And it's not something that you need immediately. Okay, I want to be very clear about that. If I have money that I'm saving for the holidays, I'm not putting it in any of these savings accounts that's going to charge me a fee. Good thing is a company like SoFi or Basque Bank and some of the others here aren't charging those fees, at least at this point in time. Okay, so do that judiciously. If I'm saving for a house that I know I'm not going to buy until 2024 or 2025, okay, yeah, right? If it's my emergency money, which I hope I'm not going to touch, okay, yeah, it makes sense to put it in there. So always make sure that you read the fine print. I'm going to pull out the fees that make sense and that stand out when they come up on the list. Okay, so the first one here is Bread Savings. Make sure you read the fine print on that one. The next one here is Brio Direct. It's the first time I've heard of this bank, but it ain't gonna be the last time because they're paying 5.35%. Now the catch here is that it is a minimum deposit to open. The minimum deposit here is $5,000. Now, yes, $5,000 is a lot of money to most, but remember what I said at the very beginning of the video, okay? If you are saving, let's say your emergency savings, which should be 6 months of your expenses, for most of us, that's going to be at least $5,000 or $6,000 because rent is too damn high, right? So if I'm looking at my expenses or my mortgage, you multiply it times 6, I'm going to get to $5,000 pretty quickly, right? So again, if this is long-term money that I'm not looking to touch, that is what you're going to need. Now, when I looked at this bank as well, that's just the $5,000 to open, but you need to have a minimum deposit of like $5. So I wouldn't just open it, put in $5,000, just take it out the next day. I would not do that. But I'm just letting you know, just to open is $5,000, but the minimum deposit number is different, is much lower than the $5,000 that you need to open it, okay? The next one here is Popular Direct, another bank that I had not heard of before today. They're paying a whopping 5.4%. 5.4%, and this is what you're going to get for just leaving your money at this particular bank, which is FDIC insured. All these are FDIC insured. Now, there are some catches here. One, minimum deposit is just $100. I think that's doable. Okay, that's not a big deal. The next thing is there's a 180-day minimum, very similar to Bread Savings, meaning you gotta leave it for at least 6 months. That's fine because again, it's long-term money, it's in your savings account. You shouldn't really be touching it that much anyway. And then the last one is there is a $5 fee if you withdraw more than 6 times per month. Now again, which is why I said in the very beginning, you want to make sure this is long-term money that you're really not touching. If you really think about it, that $5 fee isn't that bad because that's more than 1 withdrawal per week. Okay, 6 in a month, that's, you only get 4 weeks, so you really shouldn't be withdrawing that much anyway. Also, I used to do this. It used to happen a lot more when I was, in college. I had to withdraw from my savings, okay? I was not always the greatest with money, but I knew that if I had to withdraw more than 6 times or more than 4 times or whatever the limit was back then, that last withdrawal was gonna be a bit bigger. That way I wouldn't have to come back and dip into it a second or third time to hit that limit. Back in the day, they used to take your savings account, and if you drew too much, just make it into a checking. I don't know what the rules are here for this one, but don't withdraw more than 6 times. You can save yourself that $5 fee. And then if you leave it there for more than 180 days, which I think you should if you're looking to make that type of rate, then you're going to be okay. So the other thing that I want to bring up here while we're here in terms of making passive income is you want to make sure that you are really building your financial ladder, right? Having all these things in place. So I've got my cash for my long term, that's my security. If something happens, it's in one of these accounts, making 4-5%, great. Then I'm investing in stocks. I'm also investing in my retirement plan at work. If you have a 401k or a 403b, you're making sure that you're having each of these things stacked together so you can be financially whole and you can pull whatever lever you need to at the time that it is appropriate. But now that we've got the savings piece together, what about the stock piece? What are the stocks that we can invest in that are going to help us to grow and take us to the next level? If you're looking for that answer, you want to check out these videos right here.